Hello everyone and welcome back to the Great Book of Grudges. My name is Nathan and today we're back with another Total War Warhammer 3 faction focus video. Today we'll be looking towards the Demons of Chaos, specifically the Demons of Tzeentch. Before we begin, I just want to state once again that the Great Book of Grudges team does not believe that the Chaos Demons will be separated as monogod factions, instead as one full faction. We're only separating each of the Chaos Gods into their own respective videos for ease of access. But without further ado, let's begin. Tzeentch is the Changer of Ways, the Chaos God of magic and trickery. His strength lie in the arts of magic and of the mind, rather than pure physical strength. While many believe that this is Tzeentch's greatest weakness, it is in truth his actual strength. Tzeentch prefers to lurk within the shadows, sowing the seeds of destruction without much physical altercation, and in truth his army works pretty much the same. First we'll look towards the core unit, the Pink Horrors of Tzeentch. These are the basic rank and file troops that you'll see in a Tzeentch army. However, they are not melee units, they are spellcasters. Weak ones at that, but better to be casting spells from afar than going up close and being destroyed. These units are rather interesting given the fact that when killed they actually spawn into other units. Pink Horrors turn into Blue Horrors and Blue Horrors turn into Brimstone Horrors. I'm not 100% sure how Horrors would be actually implemented into Total War Warhammer 3, but given that the fact that there's 3 different unit varieties, with the Brimstones being the weakest and the Pinks being the strongest, I'm assuming rather than summoning them from the death of a unit, we'd more than likely have them being able to be recruited early on, with the Brimstone Horrors being recruited without any military buildings, the Blue Horrors being recruited from the tier 1 of the first military building, and the Pink Horrors being recruited on the second tier. With that, we've looked at all of Tzeentch's core units, so now we'll look towards special. First up, we have the Flamers of Zinj. These are mid-level ranged units that use flamers to cut down enemy lines. It's more than likely that they'll be used in Total War Warhammer 3 in a very similar sense to how the Skaven use their Warpfire throwers. So in terms of tactics, you'd flank around your enemy and shoot at their lines, trying to get rid of as many of them as possible. They're decently fast too, which also makes it easier to flank around your enemy. Next, we move on to the Screamers of Tzeentch. They resemble horrible flying demonically infused manta rays. The Screamers swarm around their enemies, picking them off at their most weakest time, where their teeth rip apart any who did not see them coming. Think of these beasts as incredibly fast-flying war dogs. They should more or less play the same role in the battlefield, where you can pick apart your enemies and chase after the ones that are normally not in the front ranks, such as archers and war machines. With that, we finished looking at the special units, and now we look towards rare, where there is only one, that of the Burning Chariots of Tzeentch. While most would think that this is actually a melee unit, it's actually not, given the fact that the Burning Chariot of Tzeentch is actually mounted upon by an exalted Flamer of Tzeentch. The unit itself works more similar to how a war wagon works other than a basic chariot. Here you'd be using the chariot itself to harass your enemies, but from afar, using its ranged weapons to try and pull the lines apart, trying to distract your enemy units as much as possible to make their lines actually break. Of course, you could use this chariot as a melee weapon too, but it won't be very tough, so it wouldn't really last too long in melee combat unless you're just using it to actually drive through enemy lines. With that, we've checked out all the units in the core, special and rare categories, so now let's check out the lords and heroes and named heroes. First up, we have the Herald of Zinj, which acts as all other heralds do. They are basic low-level spellcasters, battle standard bearers, and army leaders. They resemble very ostentatious Pink Horrors of Tzeentch. They are not really the best units in terms of anything, to be honest, but they serve their purpose as low-ranking greater demons. The Heralds of Zinj paved the way for the greatest extension of Tzeentch himself, the Lords of Change. These are the most powerful spellcasters in Tzeentch's armies. They are not only deadly with magic, but deadly in hand-to-hand combat too, as they are gigantic winged beasts that fly across the battlefield, stomping any who may come into their path. They are some of the most powerful, if not the most powerful spellcasters in the Warhammer universe, being direct extensions of the god of magic himself. But with that, we are done looking at the generic lords and heroes, and now we look towards the named characters that feature on the 8th edition army book. First up, we have the Changeling. For all intents and purposes, many see him as just another horror, a low-level spellcaster which knows even less spells than a basic Herald of Zinj. Now, whilst most people would see this as not an impressive character, the Changeling has something that many do not. The Changeling embodies the Changer of Ways' actual namesake, where he can actually change his shape and form to look like pretty much anything else, not just something living, but other demons too, and it has been known that the Changeling has been able to trick even the other Chaos Gods, starting wars between each other. Many races of the Warhammer world have actually dealt with the Changeling, despite the fact not knowing that he was actually there. Sometimes he appears as a peasant, sometimes as a demonette, even taking the form of famed characters like Arkan the Black. I think this character would be super cool to have in Total War Warhammer 3, where you could have him mirror any character that you so choose to fight. Next we have the Blue Scribes, two blue horrors mounted upon a disc of Tzeentch. It is said that these two blue horrors travel across the Warhammer world and the realms of chaos in an effort to learn every spell known in existence. They are seeking the lost shards of Tzeentch. This is to make Tzeentch whole once again and make him the most powerful of all the chaos gods. However, Tzeentch knows full enough that even his own creations could turn against him, so with that only one blue horror can actually write the spells but not read it, and the other one can read them but not write them, or understand them for that matter. This is to make sure that his creations are kept in line and not seek ulterior motives. And now lastly we look towards the last named character in the 8th edition army book for Tzeentch, Kairos Fate Weaver, the Lord of Change and the right hand of Tzeentch. This is a two-headed Lord of Change. One head always speaks the truth, the other one always lies. He knows every spell in existence. It is said that Kairos is always one step ahead of his enemies, and in truth, one step ahead of everything that exists, barring Tzeentch himself. Both of its heads are actually blind to the present, not knowing what is actually going to happen. They know the future, they know the past, but they can't see what is right in front of them. Kairos flies across the battlefield, hurling all sorts of magical assaults to any who may stand in his way. But with that, we've looked over all of Tzeentch's 8th edition units. What do you guys think about this faction? Do you think more units would be implemented from any supplements? Let me know in the comments below and let's start a little bit of a discussion, shall we? But with that, my friends, we've come to the end of our video. Thank you so much for watching. If you did enjoy the video, might I suggest giving the video a like or even subscribing to the channel, as it really does help us out. In the description link below, we have various links to different social media groups such as Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and so on, where you can get in contact with the Great Book team, talk about lore, Total War Warhammer, or pretty much whatever you like to do. Also in the description link below is an affiliate link with Element Games where you could buy loads of hobby-based stuff, not just Warhammer, for 10 to 25% off. Using the link below and also using our special code also supports the channel at no extra cost to you, which we think is rather cool. A big thank you to our patrons. Your support means the world to us. Honestly, it's super cool that people would like to support the channel and see us grow. A special thank you to our patron Gibraltar LUSC for subscribing at our Fane level. Honestly, mate, you're super cool. And a big thank you to all of you guys for liking, sharing, commenting the videos. Honestly, you're really helping us get the word out. It's super awesome. The channel's been growing like mad recently, and we're kind of overwhelmed with everything, but we're trying to keep people entertained. Thank you so much, my friends, once again, and we shall see you all again very, very soon. Have a good day.